Next up is Kunho Kim, the co-founder of Door Labs, where I met him last year in Denver, East Denver, and Stanford Blockchain Conference. Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me and having the chance to talk to all these cool people in Taiwan or everywhere in the world. Yeah, where should I begin? Let me share my screen first. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, we do.
That's great. So Door Labs. Let me talk a little bit about exactly what we mean by Door Labs. We literally mean door. We want to help people onboard to the crypto and blockchain industry using NFTs. So we phrase ourselves as being the door to get into this new type of world. And what we intend to do from the beginning is to create an inclusive metaverse. And what I mean by inclusive metaverse is that imagine inclusivity. Inclusivity meaning being an environment or society where we include all types of people, people with disabilities, people with different colors, different races. And one of the problems that I had with Web 2 or Web 1.0, or any type of web that we have right now, is that we didn't really have any representation of these different types of groups. So just for an anecdote that I think will better help understand why we need inclusivity and on the internet right now is that I'm a person in a wheelchair and I got paralyzed from a ski accident about 11 years ago. And before I got injured, all the knowledge that I had about paralysis was from Pokemon. Is that when Pokemon get paralyzed, oh, you can't move, but they have a potion where people can get free from paralysis. So that was the extent of which that I had about any type of knowledge about paralysis. And looking back, I see enormous importance in our society having more representation and understanding of these different types of people and on the internet. But right now, I don't think we have those people or concepts built from the get-go. So people are getting quite confused. So this was the article that I was being paralyzed, but I didn't really know what it really meant other than that Pokemon. So I'm in a wheelchair. And the first project that we did was called a wheelchair NFT, which is wheel cards. And I think it's better understood if we just play this video. Hopefully the internet works. A short video.
Wait, just give me a few minutes. After this video, I can guarantee you, first, you will learn this cool technology that is digitizing the art industry and many more. Second, you might earn a piece of this technology for free, so stick around. My name is Kunho Kim, and I've been in a wheelchair since a ski accident 11 years ago. Since then, my life revolved around making my life easier, making places around me more wheelchair accessible. While at Harvard, I drove from San Francisco to Boston to make a wheelchair accessible tour guidebook with friends. I've then founded a social enterprise in South Korea, which worked to make Seoul's first wheelchair accessible metro map. I've produced internationally awarded travel series to make wheelchair travel information more readily available. I've started these projects not because I wanted to save the world. I was just frustrated as a wheelchair user. Because I learned that gathering wheelchair accessible information is very challenging. It is very costly to gather wheelchair accessible information. It's either very scattered online or it's not even available. When I saw non-fungible tokens, I thought that this could be a great way to incentivize users to bring offline information to online. What is a non-fungible token? I know you might have heard the term a lot these days. Think of it as a digital Pokemon card. We collected them, traded with friends, and played games with it. Now, everything can be done digitally. Couldn't we do all of these with JPEG or PNG before? The problem was that we could just copy and paste these files and no one could know the ownership of these images. This is where blockchain technology comes in to prove the authenticity and rarity of these images. For example, you've seen NBA Top Shot pioneered by Dapper Labs. Think about owning exclusive footage of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, or Michael Jordan's first shot 10 years from now. I want to experiment whether NFTs can be used to incentivize users to bring offline information online. I believe this can show a lot of implications that NFTs can be a useful tool to bring positive social changes. We will award a free NFT to 100 users who input wheelchair accessibility information on Google Maps. To win a wheelchair NFT, it is very simple. You just need to direct message us on Twitter at wheelcards with 3 screenshots. Let me explain a little further. First, open Google Maps. Type the location you want to review, go to About section, screenshot this page. This will be your first screenshot. Then, click Update to review wheelchair accessibilities. Update the location. Be sure to screenshot the updates you're making. This will be your second screenshot. Then, submit the updates and take the final screenshot to show your submission. You just need to submit these 3 screenshots. Boom, you're done. We will give the first 100 people rollies, the wheelchair NFT cards. I know that this is not the best way because we don't have access to Google's backend, but we wanted to show Google that with NFTs, we can have a very cost-effective, creative, and fun way to allow users to make positive impact. Hey Google, if you're listening, I'm here to collaborate. When we think of wheelchairs, we have this stereotype that your life sucks to be in a wheelchair. I too had this stereotype before getting injured. But having more exposure to wheelchair users or Olympians and people who are doing such cool things, I completely changed my mind. With more exposure and ownership, I believe that this can foster more conversations around wheelchair and disabilities and wider acceptance. That is precisely why we created 10,000 rollies. The rollies were modeled after pioneers of disability rights and wheelchair accessibility activists. This was our team's personal way to commemorate people who fought for the rights of people with disabilities. We are going to release the rollies in 10 different tranches, 1,000 rollies for each tranche on Ethereum blockchain at OpenSea. A rollie would cost exactly at 0.1 Ethereum, around $200 to $250. For the first tranche, the early supporters will get 50% early birds discount. We know that rollies can be financially burdensome for some. So if you send us a message on Twitter, we will give you 1 rollie for free because we believe that everyone deserves a rollie and start a conversation about wheelchair and become an ally. The entire image set of 10,000 rollies would only be released after all the tranches are unlocked. The proceeds from the rollies will go to create a community of disabled NFT artists. After the first complete sale of the first tranche, we pledge that we will hire 1 disabled artist, and we will give training and help this disabled artist to create a meaningful NFT art pieces. I am personally dedicated for this cause because I believe I am very lucky to be in an environment where people have been very welcoming for a person with disabilities. But I know for a fact that people with disabilities are one of the most systematically disadvantaged and also discriminated groups. And I believe NFT space can be a unique opportunity for a person with a disability. It is global and digital, and you just need to have access to the internet and can be anywhere in the world. Moreover, we will use the proceeds to make wheelchair games, such as wheelchair racing, wheelchair basketball games, and many more, so people can have fun with the rollies. I believe more exposure will destigmatize wheelchairs. Finally, every quarter, we will donate the royalties from the rollie trades to organizations working to better the lives of people with disabilities and wheelchairs. Rollie owners will be able to vote and participate to decide where to donate. More information about this can be found on our website, bills.card. When we think about wheelchairs, we often portray an image that is immobile. There are 10,000 different variations of wheelchairs and also different kinds of people that are in a wheelchair. Just from my personal experience when I own Pokemon cards, I tend to learn more about the ecosystem and also just about the Pokemon. And what I anticipate from happening is that I want people to understand more about wheelchairs by owning them. Technological advancements were often used to extend the human limitations, and I hope our project, Wheel Cards, can also take part in this and make this world more wheelchair accessible and understanding for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, so that was the introduction of the project that I did. So we have 10,000 different enrollees, and the purpose of this project was to make people more understanding by owning a wheelchair, because having just exposure means a lot. And the purpose and the reason why we wanted to do this project is because we wanted to onboard a different type of population to crypto and NFT space, people that have not been traditionally been exposed to this, and also introduce this new type of diversity to crypto space, because I haven't really seen any kind of NFT art or any kind of blockchain projects that are specifically targeted for people with disabilities. So surprisingly, in just 4 days, we got 24 countries around the world, and about 26 places reviewed on Google Maps. And I was truly surprised because we had zero marketing, just one tweet and one Reddit post. And people around the world have shown this compassion because they've had people with disabilities around their lives, or they've just had experiences how important this is. And another point that I want to make is that we validated the fact that NFTs can be a way to incentivize behavior in offline by giving them some digital assets and making them do something for an enterprise or any kind of mission. And I'd like to show a little testimonials that we've got voluntarily from our supporters in just a week. Hopefully the internet doesn't break.
So maybe we can skip this video.
Sure. Yeah. If anyone wants to see the testimonials, you can see it now. And what I mean by this whole combination is that we wanted to move people offline and immerse them into online behaviors. And what we do by it is that we wanted to show people that when they buy something or when they have some kind of interaction in physical stores, physical interactions, we wanted to award them NFT, like just how we did with the Google Maps. So when people scan the QR code at a physical store, at a place that we believe can be disability-friendly restaurants or disability-friendly locations or businesses, so people can earn an NFT. So we're currently working with Kakao in South Korea to incentivize wheelchair-accessible locations to get NFTs. And also we're working with one of the taxi companies to reward people to know more about wheelchairs. And we are creating a Korean version of wheelchair NFTs, and we'll be distributing at one of the platforms in Korea. And how we think about this is that NFTs can be a great mechanism and tool for a social change. And if we can incentivize certain behaviors, I think we can do a lot of different changes in the world. And one of the reasons why we believe that we can do well is because we hold a patent in Korea that allows us, gives the rights to issue NFTs randomly when people buy products. It's somewhat like Happy Meals in McDonald's. When you buy a Happy Meal, you get a surprise toy, and you don't know what you're going to get inside of it. And it's just the same concept with NFTs. And how we are using this patent in Korea is to incentivize people to be more inclusive and also help people with disabilities to get around better. That's it. If any of you have any questions, I'd love to take any questions.
I can take some questions if anyone wants to ask. And yeah, ask away.